Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and today Lauren Rexford from Quincy Community Action Programs will be joining us with information about their energy assistance programs. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, lots of brilliant sunshine, but it's only 24 degrees right now. A bright, very brisk day. Highs only in the mid to upper 20s this afternoon. Another cold night tonight under cloudy skies. Lows will drop off again into the teens. Tomorrow might just catch a glimpse of the lunar eclipse of the full moon just after 6 a.m. tomorrow as the moon sets and the sun rises just before the snow and the mixed precipitation move in later in the day tomorrow, with highs in the mid to upper 30s. Kind of unsettled here on Wednesday. It'll be milder with clouds and showers, but Wednesday's highs into the upper 40s and more gray, damp weather on Thursday with highs in the low 40s, maybe some morning showers. Does look like a bit of a warm up, though, heading into next weekend. In the meantime, it's sunny and 24 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the Quincy City Council will meet tonight after being postponed from last Monday night due to the blizzard. Officials are expected to consider a request from the mayor to approve over $2.6 million for new firefighter gear that does not contain cancer-causing chemicals. Mayor Thomas Koch credits the firefighters union for taking the lead on this issue.
There's a lot of question about occupational cancer and what it does to firefighters. Their cancer rate is much higher on average than the average person. So this is something the least we can do to help protect them and their families for the future.
So as I understand, you've been able to find turnout gear that is free of the forever chemicals?
Yes, actually, the local 792 and the fire department command staff, they actually went out to a factory down in the Carolinas and inspected things, looked at the backup stuff, and it appears that this company, if you get the name of it off the top of my head, Joe, but does provide manufactured gear that is cancer-free.
The funding will purchase 2 sets of gear for each of the 218 firefighters in Quincy. The mayor says the city's trying to recover the cost of the gear that was previously purchased and market it as being free of forever chemicals. The firefighters union said independent testing of that gear indicated that it did contain those PFA chemicals. Well, the Rules Committee of the Quincy City Council will be meeting tonight at 6:30 at City Hall and discuss a proposal from Council President Ann Mahoney that would formalize allowing the public to comment at every City Council meeting. Mahoney says it is her intention to have a public comment period at every meeting of the full City Council.
What we'd like to do is put this into rules and have a discussion in rules to make it permanent. As council president, I can have open forum on every agenda if I so choose, but what I'd like to have it be is part of the council for the public in the rules book so that we will be putting into rules. Councilor DeBona, you did ask a few questions, so I'm just going to answer that. In this session that we just did, signing in, providing your name and information, speaking for 3 minutes on the record, not being able to transfer, being respectful, and listening is pretty much the most of the things that we're asking to do.
Mahoney says the city charter allows for open forum prior to city council meetings, but she wants to make it part of the rules for council meetings. Quincy DPW Commissioner Al Grazioso is expected to provide the City Council with an update on the city's response to the 2 most recent snowstorms during tonight's council meeting. Ward 1 City Councilor David Jacobs had requested that update after the first snowstorm in January.
As most of you know, we had a storm a week or so ago, and I think that just having the Superintendent of Public Works and the Commissioner of the DPW and the Emergency Management Director or the designee come before the council in the Oversight Committee just to kind of explain, what happened, what their goal was, what we achieved as a community, and how we're going to move forward and learn from what happened. So I move that the council vote on resolved 2026 037, which requests a briefing on the city's storm response at the next Oversight Committee meeting.
Tonight, Graziosa will also provide an update to the city's response to last week's blizzard. The snow emergency parking ban was lifted this past Friday. However, officials are still asking that motorists park on the odd side of side streets and park in driveways whenever possible. The MBTA working on a major signal improvement project almost 7 years after a derailment caused some pretty extensive damage. It was June of 2019 when this derailment at the JFK UMass station in Dorchester caused significant damage to the signal systems and tracks in an area known as Columbia Junction. That's where the Braintree and Ashmont branches of the Red Line merge and connect to the Cabot Yard maintenance facility. The T says repairs were never fully completed. The project began this past weekend. It will take 2 months to complete. The T says the work will take place beginning at 8 p.m. each night and will result in longer travel times, reduced frequency of trains, and platform transfers. 3-day service suspensions are also anticipated in late spring and early summer on the weekends to complete this work. There will be no work done on Sunday, March 15th. That's for the South Boston St. Patrick's Day Parade, or on April 20th for the Boston Marathon and Patriots Day events. City of Quincy's annual rabies vaccination clinic will be held at the new Quincy Animal Care Center off of Quarry Street this year. City Clerk Nicole Crispo says the clinic's been scheduled for Saturday, April 11th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
It's $10 for a rabies shot. It's $10 to license your dog. You can do both there that day. And that is, again, April 11th. Which is a Saturday from 10 to 1 at the Quincy Animal Shelter on Quarry Street. Excited for letting for the animal shelter to invite us up and have us host us for the rabies clinic. It's a good way to get up there, see the new animal shelter, let the dog run in the park, and we're happy to do it there. We'll see. You know, the logistics seem good. We have 2 rooms where we can do one the shot, one the license. We'll figure it out, and good parking.
This is the first time the clinic is being held at the shelter. Crispo says if it's determined that the location doesn't work, the clinic will be moved back to the Koch Park and Recreation Complex on Marymount Parkway. Quincy Cub Scouts Pack 42 recently held their annual Blue and Gold celebration to mark the birthday of Scouting. Quincy Friends of Scouting Chairman Ray T-Burge welcomed Scout leader Kai Lee and many Scouting families at the First Baptist Church in Wollaston. Ward 3 City Councilor Walter Hubley and his wife, School Committee Vice Chair Catherine Hubley, joined the celebration. Hubley says he received special permission to wear his Cub Scout achievement beads and scarf tie from his days as a Scout in Quincy. Now, Pack 42 will be holding a trivia night fundraiser this coming Saturday at 6:30 at the Masonic Hall on Greenleaf Street in Quincy Center. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, we get details about the energy assistance programs available from Quincy Community Action Programs. That's next. Welcome back. There is still time for you to apply for the energy assistance programs through Quincy Community Action Programs. The deadline is April 30th, and this year, more than ever, it is needed with this brutally cold, snowy winter that we've been having. So Lauren Rexford from QCAP has stopped on by to tell us how you can do it. Good to see you, Lauren.
Good to see you, too. Thank you for having me today. And yes, there still is time to apply for this program. I know that 8 weeks left in the season to apply through April 30th, but now it's a crucial time to apply because utility services are will be facing shutoff within the next several weeks. In the state of Massachusetts, they have a state-regulated law where between November 15th and March 15th, they cannot shut services off.
Okay.
After March 15th, if folks have not made a payment or a payment plan, they can start coming out after issuing a termination notice to shut that service off.
Okay.
So Quincy Community Action Energy Programs, we're here to help.
Yes.
We want to make sure that folks are aware of the program, and it's not too late to apply, even though our program started back on November 1st. There's still time to apply.
Okay.
And there's several ways to apply. We don't like to hear that residents are using their stoves, which they should never use their stove to heat their home.
Right.
If folks find themselves in that situation, they should definitely contact our office right away.
Okay.
Also space heaters, if folks are using space heaters, again, please contact our office so that we can do a thorough screening, try to provide you with services or connect you to other services throughout the community to help reduce your financial burden and help your family stay warm during the winter months. So our program is a income-based program which runs November 1st through April 30th. Folks can apply multiple ways. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the income guidelines.
Good, yeah.
So again, if you need to be under 60% of the state median income in order to qualify for these programs.
Okay.
So right now, for households of 4, the annual combined gross income, you have to be under $100,000 a year. That's annual combined for a household of 4.
Yes.
Which is also up to the 60% of the state median income.
Okay.
How to apply, you can either apply online by going to qcap.org and selecting Apply Now. You do need to set up an account in order to apply online. It's as simple as putting in your name, address, and your email address.
Okay. Okay.
And it will walk you through a series of questions about your household. You'll do the data entry. And the online application also allows you to upload documentation. So there's no paper involved. In order to, you still need to go through an interview process if you apply online.
Okay.
But it's an easier way for folks that have busy lives. Everyone has busy lives, and they may not be able to come in during regular business hours, 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday.
Right in Quincy Center, right?
In Quincy, right in Quincy Center. And we offer applications, interviews, either over the telephone or in person.
Okay.
And we leave that up to the individual. Whatever they feel comfortable with is we'll work with them.
Okay. And we should mention too that it's available to income eligible renters, even if your heat is included, and homeowners, Quincy, Weymouth, Braintree, and Milton.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Yes. So we service 4 service areas throughout our community, and again, to apply, you want to call. You can go to the online portal, qcap.org, or contact us directly at 617-657-5301 to schedule an appointment.
Okay.
Now, once we have the initial interview, it does take up to 6 weeks to review the application and determine eligibility.
Okay.
However, if you're determined eligible, we'll go back retroactive to November 1st and assist with the heating cost.
Okay. So don't not pay your bill.
Definitely try
while
to
you're
pay.
waiting, right?
Right.
Yeah, try and make some type of arrangement or
Yes,
some
definitely
type of a
try to
plan.
make some type of payment. We encourage any type of payment, no matter how small.
Right. Yeah. Don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. Pay something because right now our maximum benefit for the season, depending on income eligibility, is up to $1,000.
Okay. All right.
Now, $1,000, it's not that much with the cost of heat these days.
Some people pay more than that in 1 month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's an assistance program. We
Yeah.
help to lower the cost of the energy burden that you face during these winter months. So when you apply and you become eligible, it opens the door for other energy savings programs to help stretch your dollars.
Yeah, I know you love to talk about these because they are important,
Yes,
right?
they're very important. And again, it's one application
Right.
for multiple programs that
Yes.
we offer.
Such as?
So we have a weatherization program that will help insulate the home to reduce that heat loss. They assist with insulation in walls, in attics, weather stripping in basements, around doors, and it's a huge savings.
People don't realize how much that makes an impact. It can really cut down on your heating bill for sure.
It really
make you more
does.
comfortable too.
Exactly. Not only your heating bill, but also your cooling bill. In the
Correct.
summer
Yes.
months, it makes it's definitely a change.
You think, what can weather stripping and caulking do? It can do a lot.
It can, yes, it really can do a lot. And it helps your heating assistance dollars go further as
Right.
well.
Exactly.
Another program, if households are approved eligible, is our heating system repair and replacement program.
Okay, you're still doing that. Okay. Yeah.
We still do that. If an eligible homeowner finds themselves without heat because their system just won't start, they can call us. We send a fully licensed and insured contractor out to assess the system.
Okay.
And determine whether it needs a repair or a replacement.
Okay.
And that is at no cost to the homeowner. Also for the weatherizations, I forgot to mention this, it's at no cost to the households,
If you
whether you're a
determine-
renter or an owner, if you're determined eligible.
Okay.
Yes.
It's huge.
It
It's a
is.
big benefit,
It's
yeah.
huge. Some other energy savings programs that are offered are through the utility company.
Mm-hmm.
They offer a low-income discount rate,
Yes.
where one of the qualifications for that is being eligible for the home heating assistance program.
Okay.
And they offer up to 71% off your monthly utility bill.
All year round.
All year round,
Yeah.
12 months, yes, which is it's a great savings.
Certainly, yep.
Again, Quincy Community Action wants to help reduce the cost of your energy burden. And these programs can definitely help your money stretch further.
Now, Lauren, is this for all types of energy? Natural gas, oil, electric?
Yeah, so the type of heating sources is oil, kerosene, propane, gas, if you heat by gas,
Yeah.
if you heat with electricity.
Yep.
Again, if you use electricity as a secondary heat source, you'll definitely benefit from the discount rate that the utility companies offer.
Okay. Or some people with heat pumps, that's their primary
And their heat pumps,
source.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes, and that is a lot that we're seeing a lot of that. A lot of people are switching over to the air source heat pumps.
Right. Which take electricity. So
Yes,
yeah, okay.
yes, and it adds up.
Certainly.
But
yeah.
if the program can help reduce your financial burden and your heating costs, I encourage individuals to apply.
Yeah, and the benefit is paid directly to the provider. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
So there's no need to send us a bill.
Right.
Once the individual or household is approved eligible, we notify our contracted vendors by mail, just to let them know the individual is eligible.
Mm-hmm. So
And
Eversource,
with the dollar
National
amount,
Grid,
yep,
big
Eversource,
utilities, yeah.
National Grid, National Grid Gas, National Grid Electric.
Okay.
We have over 100 oil companies that participate in the fuel assistance program.
Okay.
If someone applies that has oil heat or propane, we have a list of vendors that they can choose from to see which one they want to use.
If theirs doesn't, right?
If yes.
Although there's a pretty good chance it does if you have so many.
Most
signed up.
likely,
Yeah.
they'll
our
be
area,
participating.
yeah.
And if they don't, we'll reach out to that contractor
Okay.
and see if they want
Okay.
to sign a contract
And there's
with
no
us.
cost to do this, right? This is-
No,
it's
it's free of cost.
Yeah.
There's no cost to the household. it's worth looking into. Some folks may think, I don't need this, but if you find yourself keeping that thermostat very low during the cold temperature months, you should definitely give us a call.
Sure, absolutely.
It doesn't hurt to call. And again, it's a free program. Always ask the question. We can do a thorough screening to determine whether you're going to qualify or not. There are a series of documentation that you will need to provide us so we can verify income eligibility.
Okay, can you maybe talk a little bit about those?
Sure. We always look at the last 30 days of income, monthly gross income.
Okay.
So folks will have to provide 30 days of income for every individual that receives some form of income, whether
So
it be
payroll
wages,
stubs, okay.
yes, pay stubs, if they're on a fixed income, Social Security,
Oh, I see.
SSI,
Okay.
pension or retirement. It's just their
veterans
monthly
benefits.
veterans
Okay.
benefits as well.
Okay.
Just their monthly statement that they
Okay.
receive.
Okay.
They also would need to provide us with their utility bills, gas and electric bills, so we can ensure that they get that discount rate. If they're oil heat, they need to let us know who their oil company is.
Sure.
Housing and rental costs, we do ask for that information, which could be, mortgage or a lease if you're renting.
Okay.
If your heat's included, we ask for a lease to verify, your heat's included
Gotcha.
and outlining what's your monthly rent
Okay.
is. We also ask for proof of citizenship and or qualified alien status, which would be, birth certificate or a social security card, a green card, anything like that, along with, let's see.
So you do have to have legal status. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen, but you have to have legal status. Is that right?
Anyone can apply.
Okay. To
So
apply.
it's we definitely ask for the citizenship and qualified alien
Okay.
status. There may be a situation where 2 out of the 5 members in the household don't have on a qualified alien
Yep.
status,
Yep.
but they can still apply and go on the application.
Okay.
So we definitely encourage folks to apply for the program.
Okay. All right.
Either way, even if you're unsure, apply.
Sure. Yeah. Now, if you've applied and been approved in the past, do you have to reapply every year?
Yes.
You do?
Once an individual applies, they have to reapply every year.
Okay.
We start mailing out applications late August, early September, just to get a head start on processing the applications. So once November 1st hits, we can automatically start making payments
Okay.
as of November 1st.
Okay. All right. And the benefit itself, $1,000 maximum, you said, has that changed over the years?
It has changed. It has decreased some.
It has
in the-
decreased.
yes,
Okay.
yes. In the past, it's been a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But again, all those programs that folks would qualify for
Yes.
helps that money go further.
Sure. Yeah.
And stretches that up.
Well, I know back at the beginning of the season, there was concern there wouldn't be any energy assistance funding available, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, due to the government shutdown.
Right.
But we were still taking applications. We were actively accepting new and old applications. We had some funding to help in emergency
Yes.
situations
Yeah.
where folks might not have had oil as of November 1st or their utility service was shut off.
Yeah, because it got cold at
beforehand.
the beginning of December and hasn't warmed up at all since.
No, it hasn't.
Really?
It's been cold. We
Yeah.
can't wait for spring, but
Right.
so we did have some limited resources then, but now we received our grant.
Good.
So we are actively making payments,
Okay.
which is great. Payments, we rely on our utility programs and our oil companies to send us the information so
Yes.
that we can pay them directly.
Sure. Okay.
It's really a wonderful program. I constantly hear it from season to season where folks say, I never knew about this program,
Oh, yeah.
or I didn't think I would qualify, so I never applied. Again, whether you think you qualify or not, call
Absolutely.
or visit our website. You can always get answers.
Yes. Which is great. I think that the telephone assessment and website information is crucial. because it answers questions right there, and it saves a lot of time.
Exactly.
It answers a lot of questions before you even go through the process of applying, just to find out if you're eligible or not. And there's no cost.
Yes, there's no cost. That's the key. There's no cost to heating assistance, the weatherization program, heating repairs or replacement,
Yes.
and the utility discount. There's no cost in any of that.
Right. So there's no downside.
No, there's no downside at all.
Lauren, I wish you a warmer spring.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Have a good day now.
You too.
Thank you.
It's not going to warm up today, unfortunately, but it will be the coldest day of the week today. We're headed up from here on out, but only in the upper 20s this afternoon, down to the teens again this evening. Tomorrow we begin our unsettled weather pattern with mixed precipitation, temperatures in the upper 30s, still kind of gray and damp. Wednesday, though, look at near 50 and staying in the 40s on Thursday, maybe back into the 50s by next weekend. So there's something to look forward to. Thanks again to Lauren Rexford for joining us from QCAP.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching Friday here on the show. Jean Foy from MassPerg stopping by. Meantime, check our website anytime, qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news, information, video on demand, live streaming, and more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.